I actually got one that I was wanting to show you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
This one's a first edition from 1976. I think it was written by George Lucas himself.
I have that.
I love the Robert Quarry art.
Alan Dean Foster, first edition.
I like that cover.
Where did you find your copy?
My in-laws used to do like the Storage Wars thing. Like they bought
Yeah,
and they had this in there, and I asked if I could have it, and they said yeah. So
that's awesome. I found one at the half price bookstore for 99 cents. So, heck of a deal.
Hey, TheGeeksAttic, it's funny that you mentioned for like 99 cents because when I was checking the publication date, I actually found like a $2 bill in here.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, no.
Show it.
It's slightly better.
Yeah.
Well, it has Karen Travis, so it's going to be good, and then it's not going to be good.
No, the thing with No Prisoners is some of the best fanfic I've ever read.
Actually, is that the one with Callistia?
Yes.
Yes, actually, that's the one Karen Travis book I don't mind.
Dude, I really like this book. To be
I
honest.
thought it was good.
It's definitely they're in Spice Iraq. It is the planet of Iraq that they're on.
Right.
Like, and it is the most post 9/11 Star Wars book I've ever read. But it is the best book that has Captain Rex as the main character. It's really nice to get his perspective on things, and then his relationship with Captain Pelion is really fascinating in the book. And then also Callistia's affinity for machines is established, which will come into play in Phantom. And there's a whole bunch of things that are established in this book that I wish we had more of. The only downside is Ahsoka's annoying in it.
When is she not?
In Stealth and Siege, she's actually really useful in those two books.
Okay.
Like she and Obi-Wan's Fling of the Week have some cool moments in Stealth and Siege. Mainly Stealth. The Gambit duology. Dylan, second me on this.
Still reminds me of the fact that Stealth and Gambit had another Obi-Wan love interest.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a love interest. That's just someone he bedded that week.
I think this is probably my last one that I got.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I was also going to do a bad one. See, this cover, not bad.
Wait, I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Highlander.
I'm starting to think we need a jar for every time someone says Highlander to
That would
put
be awesome.
Oh, I've
we've
been putting a nickel in this jar every single time one of you has said Highlander. So,
You throw that away. I don't want
Hey, we haven't talked about Highlander in a very long time.
that cover's not bad.
That book's pretty good.
And that book is not in.
Please kick Jeremy out of this. Yeah, please.
Because I'm a Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void supporter because Tim Levin's a good writer.
I've only finished.
You know what? Tim Levin is writing the not the next Firefly book, but he's writing the one coming out in October. I'm going to buy it.
See, okay.
I'm going to buy it, but hopefully it'll be better than that garbage.
I like his alien work. Like he's done some AVP stuff.
And we've talked about Dawn of the Jedi. I just don't like the style of the writing.
I don't like the book at all.
I thought it was a fresh take on Star Wars.
I've only made it to like the 3rd chapter.
Good luck.
Please boot
Are
Jeremy.
you currently trying to make it through?
I haven't read it in months, so I kind of like.
I
saw
get
this
the
book
audiobook.
and then I'm just like, ooh, like this new book that came out, like ooh, the Han Solo trilogy,
Yeah.
I'd get the audiobook. I wouldn't have been able to finish that if it wasn't for the audiobook.
Adam, is that the one you're currently reading? Is that what I heard you just say? Or you just tried and then you went on to another book?
I tried and then I went on to another book. The one I'm currently reading is I'm about to start the 2nd Darth Bane book.
Well, this is the last one I got since we were going with the trash of the EU. And I don't know if you guys talked about this one last time. I can't remember. But
Oh no, we did not hit Lost
Oh
Treasure.
no.
That is a terrible cover.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious about this. Is that Old Republic or is that
yes,
And
kinda.
I kind of heard somewhere that
It's Old Republic through the years.
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
then it's not. Then
This
it's,
isn't really a spoiler. It's just a description. During the, I believe it was the hyperspace war, or maybe it would have been, it would have been the hyperspace war. There were like two Sith ships, and one of them got like hyperspace traveled into the future somehow, and the other got marooned on a planet like in the outer rim that no one's talked about, or no one ever found until the time of Fate of the Jedi. So the Sith that were marooned there just like took over the indigenous species and like did their thing until the galaxy found them. And this is just a bunch of short stories of that happening over the years. Then they show up in Fate of the Jedi.
Wow.
Interesting.
yeah, it is interesting in concept. It's in execution, it doesn't quite work.
I'll be honest, the story's not good, but those were offered as free ebooks,
Yep.
so you
Except
can't
for the
really.
last
And
one.
then, except for the last one, it was included in the paperback. I loved that they put it in paperback. I bought it, but those aren't good. But I've never want to talk bad about them because they were offered free.
Right.
If they would have been all collected in one, book, and I would have bought it, I would have hated that book. But I can't dog it because it's technically collecting all the free ebooks that he brought out, and then giving you an ending,
Yeah. So the
which
artist,
is still not satisfying.
the artist was David Stevenson and Scott Bale. Now, I remember I did download those when they were released. I remember they looked at the digital bookstore, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Star Wars!" And I just download. Never read them. I mean, if they all had the same style of art. Like, I think it was all the same picture, just different colors.
I read it because you kind of knew where it was. I think we knew by then where it was going to be connecting. But the thing was, the story was just never that interesting.
There was also a comic book spinoff called Spiral. That was also not good.
It was not good either. Yeah.
With what was it? The Sith had a princess in that, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a princess that was one of the factions. The factions were warring with each other in that.
Yeah.
Vaguely, like, it's not good.
Okay,
You could literally pick up Fate of the Jedi, and like you wouldn't be missing a thing.
Well, at first I was just thrown off by a Sith prince. I was like, oh, well, they have a Sith emperor, so I guess that's not, too far off base. So.
I actually think this is they disappeared before Vitiate's time.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
They disappeared, I think, before the Eula Queldromo story.
Yeah, because it would have been the hyperspace war. So yeah, it would have been before Ulic and all that.
Yeah,
I actually have an article on the expandeduniverse.com about why in Fate of the Jedi they were such a non-threat. If you've read Fate of the Jedi, read it.
It's a good article too. Dylan used to write articles.
Yeah, I did, and then school happened, and then I didn't have time to write articles again. And then
are these articles like on your channel?
No, they're on the expandeduniverse.com.
So I do have two others here.
Oh,
they're not really books. And I've seen you talk about them, I think, a couple times, Matt. But West End Games books.
Ooh, some adventure journals.
Now, a friend gave me these. I never knew what they were. I just knew they weren't novels.
They're short stories.
Okay, so Star Wars Adventure Journal. Those were short stories.
They're filled with RPG stuff.
And this one's got stuff by Timothy Zahn in it.
Oh, really?
And this is Volume 1, Number 1, February.
Yeah, a lot of the Bantam authors were invited to write. So you'll have Michael Stackpole wrote. Oh, he teamed up with Zahn, wrote a really good one. Kathy Tyers wrote one. I think Barbara Hamley writes something.
I think
Wolverton may have written something. Yeah.
There's Indiana Jones in there.
Yeah, those are fun. I love them all. They're hard to collect, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I have 3 of them, and I've paid like $50 a piece.
Yeah, I was lucky to get them back when no one was collecting them. No, I love the artwork. I love the feel of those things. The Adventure Journal was really one of the smartest things that West End Games ever made.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that put West End Games apart from any like RPG ever. And it's something that I think we judge Wizards of the Coast really harshly on, is that they didn't do that.
Well, here's the deal. Wizards of the Coast deserves everything they get because compared to what West End Games was doing with the series, they were lazy. And they shouldn't have been because they had it during the prime time. During the it sucks, but West End Games lost it in 1998, 1 year before the prequel comes out. And then that's when Wizards of the Coast gets it. They should be throwing everything at this and putting so much effort. And it seems like they tried to do the least amount they could to make a buck and make big off of these prequel movies coming out. And I think fans saw right through that and they hated it. They hated the lack of effort. Of course, most of them were used to playing the West End Games RPG.
Also, I'll jump in because I've played both. West End Games had the perfect system for combat. The D6 is what you should be using for any sort of projectile weapon, like a blaster. You should not be running a D20 system when you have a game where the majority of characters have blasters. I'm just saying. Also, especially with Saga Edition, which was the second, they stopped doing their first RPG and they revised it. They made Saga Edition. Level 1 Jedi doesn't have a lightsaber and can't have a lightsaber. That is so stupid to me on so many levels. You have to be level 2 in order to build your lightsaber.
Here you go, Matt. You'd probably appreciate that one, right?
Oh, hey, you know what? It's great. I love it. It's Ewok.
It's
Do
Prime.
you have all of these, Matt?
Yeah.
Just figured.
Yeah. Here. Hold on.
I have 3, 4, and 5. Those are the ones I have.
Let's go on a trip. Whoa.
So I've got I've got
I'm not ready with that.
number 2. I've got 1 and 2. That's all I have.
Oh, dude, you got some hard ones to get.
I just took my eye off the camera for 1 minute. When I look back, we're zooming in on Matt's face.
Horror.
There they are.
Pretty good condition.
Oh man.
And then there's some right there. The last two.
Matt, you're literally sitting on like thousands of dollars on your bookshelf right there.
I know. I know that whole collection right there.
What's funny is you can see his comic book. What is that? Cover B. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think
I
I
haven't filed that one.
That's
And so
true.
there's the
Matt
other two.
doesn't have a single issues on the shelf. He has those in long boxes.
Since we have the cover up. I know, Dylan, you did this earlier, the joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
pretend this actually was the Crystal Star. That cover.
That cover is great, first of all.
Let's
Luke
take
has
that.
the sassiest stance I've ever seen.
His hand is on his hip.
I love it.
You
When
gotta
I dip,
love,
you dip, we dip.
You gotta love Han's face there too. It's like, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one.
hmm
I've got a bad feeling about
Then
it.
you read the book and you realize that expression is, I think Luke's a little crazy right now.
Yeah. See, in my theory too, like this book, I always said this book is from hell, and the proof of it is in the art. Back here, oh come on, do you see? Do you see that right there? Right, this finger.
Tell me
Yeah.
the barcode has the mark of the beast on it, because I will
See-
argue with you about
Do
that.
you see that number 666 right there in the Falcon?
I can't. No, I don't.
You don't
No.
see that? Is
No,
it too
because-
I
blurry?
don't.
You have a
Yeah, it's a little blurry on my end.
30 years old. Matthew, and you
Hold on, what?
computer.
It's yeah. It's
Matt just got up to get his own copy.
There's 6 in the back in the Falcon art. That's how I know this book is from hell. So we could thank Satan, I guess, for giving Vonda in McIntyre the vision to write.
I'd rather read Crystal Star than Planet of Twilight. I'm just saying.
Which, speaking of, now I'm not saying this as a representative of the Twinsons Foundation because, of course, being a nonprofit, we can't get political at all. But personally
noticed
speaking,
that.
since it is primary season, make sure you are going out and casting your vote for Waro 2020.
I have a smear campaign ad against Matt on my channel when he's like
Join the
talking
club.
about Waru. Do what? You don't have the Falcon on the back of your book?
I do.
So we were talking about earlier, like adding like vampires and Groot and like other like werewolves in Star Wars. Can I show you guys something real quick when you guys?
There it
get-
is. Can you see it?
I see it. I can see the 666 right there by the engine.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I can see
God,
it now.
it is.
Yeah.
It is the mark of the beast.
It is the book.
I can see it now. Oh my
It
gosh!
is the book
I-
from hell. You're making him want to read the Crystal Star for the LOLs.
The Crystal Star is. I know a lot of people disagree with this. It's not as bad as people think. There's one storyline that is objectively speaking terrible, but there's another storyline that it has its moments. It's a little diamond in the rough.
With the twins? You're talking about
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was awesome. If you look at it in a continuity perspective, it's the first time they really get to do anything.
The best part about that book, in my opinion, was putting it back on my shelf and not have to dealing with it again.